Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to another visit to the insane asylum known as WFAN.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny fun.
And, of course, welcome back to the Baseball Head 3 as we do a wellness check on some of the WFAN hosts that probably lost their jobs. As you know, Carton has returned, and he's not going to return until January, so they got a month of plenty of shows where the call up like, oh, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you, Sal. I'm going to miss you, Spaz. I'm going to miss you, Coconut Head. I joke, but it's terrible that those guys have to lose their jobs for this guy, this con man. I mean, what am I talking about? That's what he is. This gambling degenerate con man. And I feel bad for Sal Licata. I make fun of him the last few years, but I feel bad that he's going to lose this job. Right now as I do this video, I don't know, and we don't know what their future holds. Evan Roberts, I said this back in July, that Evan was safe. I was wondering whether Tiki Barber was safe, but I guess he kind of became safe once Keith McPherson got, I don't know what happened with Keith McPherson. He just sort of walked out. He probably said, F this, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. And maybe he heard about this and just said, maybe I'll quit before the getting's good. Maybe they're gonna fire him. I mean, that's a possibility. They just decided to leave. Who knows? And who knows who's going to take over for nights? Since they got two guys here that have been at the station a long time. My opinion is I think that Tierney, I think, will be okay if he leaves. He was at ESPN. He's a real professional guy. Sal Licata, I worry about. I worry about Sal because he spazzes out, starts screaming, carrying on, especially when that WFAN microphone is on. And I said that he was the low man on the totem pole, and he didn't take my word for it. He was a guy that did the weekends. This was a guy that filled in, and he was going to be in trouble if they made a change with Craig Carton. And that's what happened. Completely disrupted 2 shows and 4 guys. And 2 guys might not have a job. Terrible. I would suggest to these guys, especially to Sal. No Sal watches. And I'll post this in the Baseball Hut and the Baseball 2. Sal, do yourself a favor. Be your own boss. Okay? Start a YouTube channel. Do regular content. And your channel will grow like you never believed. Now, I've watched WFAN grow on YouTube. All the videos they did, the live streams they did, the clips that they created off of that mid-morning show. How much money did they get? Probably none of it. They probably didn't get any of the money. They always disabled the super chats when they did the live streams, so they couldn't make money. All this money left on the table went into the corporation of WFAN. And also I mentioned this about Evan Roberts. This is a guy that's leaving so much money on the table because WFAN disables the super chats. So that's extra money that he could use. I don't know if he needs money, but I'm just saying. Those are car payments. Those are clothes for your kids. And they disable it. You have your own podcast which you simulcast, and you make 0 money off of it, as far as I know. 0. A Zippo. It's great to be a company man, but when the company is taking money out of your pocket for your content that from a simulcast that you do on the side, that's messed up. That's messed up. For the Rico Brogna show. I don't call Rico Brogna. I call Rico Brogna. That's what I always called Rico Brogna back in the day. But Sal Licata had issued a warning to Craig Carton back in July, and your host covered it on the Baseball Hut 2. Headline from New York Post: Sal Licata's WFAN warning for Craig Carton after Fox Sports cancellation. Now, Craig Carton cannot make it in the outside. As you know, he was in jail. He was in prison, federal prison. And when you're in federal prison or in jail for a long time, you can't handle things on the outside. You're institutionalized, which ergo institutionalized at WFAN. WFAN host Sal Licata issued a stern warning to former colleague Craig Carton. Now, I would mention, Sal has a bad habit of making predictions and they blow up in his face. And this is something that completely has blown up in his face. Carton recently had his show Breakfast Ball, what a great name for a show, canceled by Fox Sports, and The Athletic reported that a WFAN return could be in the offing for the 56-year-old. And by the way, quote, and by the way, I'm not worried about Craigie coming back. Licata said Wednesday on the midday show he co-hosts with the Coconut Head, Brandon Tierney, according to Awful Announcing. I told it to his face. This was years ago. Wherever he came back the last time, you can come back all you want. You're not taking my spot. Took your spot. He took your spot, Tierney's spot, Evan's spot, Tiki's spot. He said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. Just think about that for a minute. Got his shiv and did his business in the shower with you guys. While it's unclear whether Fox's other plans for Carton, they made plans. It makes sense that he could return to the fan after he spent 13 years making a name for himself at the legendary New York radio station. Now, Carton worked with Boomer and Carton. He did the Boomer Carton show with Norman Esiason. I thought that there was a possibility that he was going to go back in the mornings. But that show makes money. Yeah, I'm surprised that they disrupted. To be honest with you, I'm very surprised it disrupted the afternoon show. It couldn't have been that strong in terms of ratings, And obviously, he returned in 2020 to host the afternoon show after getting out of prison with Evan Roberts, and departed 2 years ago when he joined Fox Sports. He launched the Carton show in 2023 that aired in the early mornings and was later rebranded Breakfast Ball. How inspiring. Breakfast, he's probably dealing with a lot of breakfast balls in prison, I'll tell you that. I mean, the one good thing about Carton coming back, plenty of prison jokes, folks. Plenty of prison jokes. Carton does have a show at FanDuel, which launched in March, called The Comeback with Craig Carton. It primarily focuses on responsible gambling and recovery. Carton, a recovering gambling addict, also goes around to colleges to speak about problem gambling, among other things. Well, I think that the jokes about the prison is funnier than this gambling stuff, to be honest with you. But we got a guy that came in, and he basically just bulldozed over 4 people. And it's funny, I said he was going to take somebody out. I didn't think he'd take the whole like radio station out. Oh my goodness. The show in the mid-morning was okay. Okay. I goof on them a lot, but the show was okay. And Evan and Tiki was okay. Obviously, they don't want okay. They want people to have feelings one way or the other about the host. Either they like him or they hate him. And with most people, it's both ways. People either like Carton or they don't like Carton. And that's what they want. They don't want, so that show's okay. It's all right. That's what they don't want that in radio. Radio still does the whole, especially sports talk radio. They still have the old system of shock jocks and where the guys come out and say crazy stuff. And that's what this radio program in the mid-morning was about. It was about the shock jock. They were making up stories about Pete Alonso and attacking Carl Banks and everything else. I would mention, the show did not have a great reputation. Sal Licata did not do himself any favors the way he did conduct himself in the mid-morning show. And Tierney was just there for the ride. Like I said, Tierney's going to land on his feet. He's a professional guy. Sal, we must set up candles for Sal. Say prayers in the church for Sal and his family. No joke. Because I don't know what they plan on doing. And if he decides to take the show in the evening, what happens to his SNY show? His gig on that? Because that's bigger than the radio, So I don't know. But again, I would suggest, Sal, start your own channel. You'll get to 10,000 subscribers very quickly. Do a regular show. You don't have to do videos. Just do live streams and, every day at night, or, talk about the news, the sports news and what's going on with the Mets and the Yankees and everything else. And if you do that, you'll be fine. Otherwise, you'll wind up back in an insane asylum known as WFAN. Subscribe to Baseball Hut 3.
They're coming to take me away, ha ha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha. To the funny part.